Police Portland. I'm out here to Malheur.
Malheur.
Okay, I'm gonna redo that.
Okay. Malheur National Wildlife
Refuge.
Right.
Refuge.
Right.
One more time. Mike Bluehair here reporting for Film the Police Portland. I'm at the Malheur Wildlife Refuge.
Correct.
I said it correctly.
Correct.
Yay!
Yes.
Okay. So, basically, I'm talking to this guy, and your name is
Wayne Bachman.
Wayne Bachman, and I just have a question. What the heck is a sovereign citizen?
A sovereign citizen is one who does not need to be babysat by government. We have a right and intelligence of our own to govern and discipline our own lives. We do not need Big Brother to dominate and control us.
So, does this have something to do with common law?
It sure does.
Okay.
Common law is the opposite of what we have now. Democracy is majority rule. It allows the 51% to dominate and control the 49%, and that is exactly why our politicians are all claiming to us to have a democracy. They do not want us to have the republic we were given, because in a republic, the whole masses of the whole nation do not have the right to violate even one person's rights. Okay? That is what they're not educating you to, is the difference between a republic and a democracy. And Ben Franklin made it very clear they did not give us a democracy, they gave us a republic. And it's right there in our Pledge of Allegiance. It does not say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of the democracy, or corporation, or oligarchy, or anything else. It says very clearly, the flag of the republic. Okay? And that is what we are trying to get back to, get rid of Big Brother and their dominating, controlling sociopaths, if you want to call them that. I guess that is kind of my take on it.
So if people out there in the interwebs would like to do some clicking and typing, how could they research or learn about what sovereign citizens are? Or
Just Google it up. Sovereign citizen.
Is there
Now you want to be careful on
that they could look for? Or?
Yeah, I would assume you could just. I haven't done it because I already know the stuff.
Okay, right on.
But I would assume all you have to do is just Google up sovereign citizen. But you need to be careful because this corporate government. See, our government is not a real government. It is a corporation, a mass of corporations, of which I happen to have a lot of the DUNS numbers for, and they like to twist things to make the sovereigns look bad. Well, we were all sovereign back in the early days with our founding fathers. That was the principle, is that we were our own governing bodies. We did not need a king or we didn't need the redcoats or anybody else to dominate and control us.
Now the Fedcoats are coming.
That's right.
Fedcoats
That's
are
right.
That's what
Yes,
I call them.
exactly. We don't need or want them. I am a child of God. I do not need some communistic, domineering, controlling entity to tell me what to do and how to live my life, or tell me how many squares of toilet paper I can or can't use.
So I've done a little bit of cursory research into sovereign citizen myself, just as a layperson. I'm nowhere near an expert. But can you tell me about the natural person versus the straw man?
I sure can.
What the heck is this?
I sure can. When you look at your driver's license, your birth certificate, your social security card, or any of these other documents, they have you thinking that you are listed as an all uppercase name. That is not you, the real person. That is a corporation, a corporate trust account that was created by government 10 to 14 days after you were born. The all natural born man is the upper lowercase name. Look on your driver's licenses. You won't find the upper lowercase name. All you see is the uppercase, all uppercase, and that is not you. That is a straw man. It is also called the legal fiction, and there's a couple other names too. But those are the most common names. They call it the straw man account or the legal fiction name.
Okay, so just to be clear, so you mean that when I sign a government document that has my name in all capital letters, I'm agreeing to act as arbiter of a corporation that was founded in my name instead of me?
You are assuming responsibility for that corporately created name.
Well, that doesn't
that's
seem
how
right. Like, I didn't consent to that.
That's right. You probably didn't. Most people don't
I
even
didn't.
know.
I would remember consenting to some kind of
Yeah.
legal thing like
Yeah.
that.
Now, let's look at the birth certificate.
Okay.
People are concerned about child abduction by CPS and these various other organizations of government. They did that via the marriage license. And there's a gross amount of fraud involved. When you get a marriage license, you are not being told this, but you are permitting government to be the dominant third party in your marriage, to be in your bedroom and claim to own any kids that you create. That's what permits them to go in and take kids even when there's no crimes committed, except by the CPS people or whoever else, whatever government agency took your kids. And the birth certificate is nothing but a warehouse receipt, and the numbers you see on it is the corporate trust account for that child. Okay? And they don't tell you all this. They don't tell you that when you become a majority of age that you're supposed to create your own certificate of live birth. That's different from a birth certificate. And now they've even warped it to the point to where they're forcing people to have birth certificates or certificate of live birth done in a hospital. Certificate of live birth is not supposed to be involved with government. That is supposed to be a common law document certifying a live birth. Just as a marriage license is grossly different from a certificate of marriage. The marriage license, all licenses are about commerce, and that includes the marriage license. Okay, they are claiming to own their kids, and that's why they get absconded with. And then the states that abscond with these kids get paid a huge amount of money from the federal government.
Yeah, my lawyer was telling me that
Yeah.
it was, I think it's $60,000 a child.
I heard 65.
Yeah,
but,
60 or 65,000. My
Right,
lawyer
right.
was just telling me this the other night when we were
Right.
out hanging out together, and it's atrocious.
It
like,
is. It is. And they do it with senior citizens also. They will deliberately take people, put them in rest homes, and then get paid by the federal government, get subsidies from the federal government for having to take care of these
Well, I mean,
senior
these
citizens.
state-funded institutions, especially these low-rent senior citizens homes, are, in my humble opinion, they're 21st century gulags. I mean, when you look at them, there's forced medication, there's a complete control and domination of your life, your freedom of movement is
Keeping them
taken, all your constitutional rights. That
Exactly.
list of some of your rights in
Right.
the Constitution, not all of them, some of them.
Well, but see,
are being
anytime,
taken away from them. Yeah.
okay, anytime you sign any of that government paperwork stuff, you are trading your God-given rights for government-granted privileges, and privileges can always be taken away anytime for any reason or for no reason.
Well, excuse my language, but I want a fucking divorce. Like, how
You
do
should.
how do I? Is there some kind of form I can fill out? Is it that easy? Can I just, send the government a letter saying "F you"? I don't want to do this
Well, I
anymore. Or am I
wouldn't-
screwed after I entered into the contract?
Well, I
You
wouldn't
know?
use the terminology you used, but yes, yes, it's loaded with fraud, and it's very easy to get that annulled.
How?
Since the government did not disclose to you that the government is the dominant third party in your marriage, that is fraud. Lack of full disclosure. Since they did not disclose to you that they claim to own all the kids, that is lack of full disclosure. That is fraud, and it's punishable. You can.
So, in the same thing with the birth certificate, they didn't tell me that they were.
Exactly. So
Okay.
you can have those undone, have them annulled
So
via
do
fraud.
I have a regular maritime corporate lawyer do this, or do I have to do it myself? Like.
Well, since I refuse to patronize the maritime lawyers,
Okay.
I would do it myself. And anybody has a right to do this. All they have to do is just learn it, and it's easy. And all the information's online.
So what are the perks? I mean, like,
The perks is
once you
I'm
tell
not
the
a
government
slave.
to F you legally, you're not a slave, and do they claim the rights over you? Do they still claim the right to imprison you whenever they want? Do they claim the right to steal your
Well,
property when they want still? Or?
Yes, a lot of them will still claim it, but it's an educational process. Just like when I got a ticket the other day for that. He doesn't know it yet, but he's going to have a criminal complaint filed against him, and a lien, and a bill of exchange, and he may end up losing his job, because when I get done filing
Wait,
the
you mean
paper,
lien against his physical property?
yeah,
Okay.
okay, or money or whatever.
Because he violated your rights.
That's exactly.
Okay.
When they take it upon themselves to violate your rights, they're not they're not permitted to go without accountability. They are held accountable, and they will try to tell you they can do whatever they want, But that's not true, because all bonding companies around the world use commercial law. When you after you serve papers and file them, then you take copies of all those papers and turn them into the bonding companies, and then give the bonding companies a directive.
You mean like when someone becomes a security guard, they get a DPSS2 number, or a law enforcement officer, they get a bonded number? Are you talking about this? Their state certification to be a law enforcement officer? Is that what you're talking about?
They all have to be bonded.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand.
So anyway, when you serve, or after you get done serving, filing papers on these individuals, then you take copies of everything, give it to the bonding companies, let them know what's going on.
And you claim damages?
Yes, and give them a directive to post it all on the APB. See, cops aren't the only ones with APBs. All points bulletins. When the insurance companies, the bonding companies, post it on their APB, it lets all of the bonding companies across the whole nation know that these individuals have committed crimes, and that they may not want to be selling any bonds to them.
Oh wow.
Excuse me, may not want to be bonding them, okay? And so basically, you have just put them out of a job. The people that have violated you have 30 days to report to the bonding companies when there's a complaint against them. And if they don't do it, they automatically have their bonds jerked. Okay?
Wow, I had no idea about this stuff.
That puts them out of a job. And if they are self-bonding, as in the case of me against the people in Burns, they have told me that they are self-bonding. And what you do when you turn these into you want to turn it into 5 major bonding companies like Aetna, Hartford, Travelers Bonding. When you serve papers on them, or give them papers, copies of everything, and they post it on their APB, then that lets all the bonding companies across the whole nation know about what has gone on, and then they won't want to be bonding to any more of these people, or they won't be wanting to sell new bonds to these people. Bonding companies are in business to make money, just like everybody else, and they do not like having to pay claims. So they do not, and they are not responsible for bonding criminal conduct.
Right on.
Okay,